how do I turn the heating on? Right? They're not going to be the first guest that's ever asked that question. What the AI will do will know the answer because it knows the guidebook. So it can just immediately answer that question. Yeah, and that will solve like 90% of problems. It won't even need to go anywhere else. It won't need a human being to go up into the room, check the radiator. Oh yeah, you just turn this valve. It will answer most of those things. And anything it can't answer, then it will pass on to the right department.
Welcome to This Property Life, the podcast where we deep dive into the fascinating world of property investment. I'm Sarah Blainey, and alongside my co-host Nick Claydon, we're going to bring you real stories from the front lines of the property industry. But today we're actually going to go off on a diversion and talk about some of the tools that we use within our property careers, property jobs, to tell you all a little bit about AI, because it is a hot topic and one which can be a bit divisive. So we're just going to give you some hints and tips as to how we've used AI in our business and where we sort of see the future going. So hi, Nick, how are you doing?
Hi, Sarah. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, very good. Thanks. How are you?
And you are real, aren't you? You're not an AI generated voice and body.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I am still real. Yes.
Okay. Brilliant. Yes, no, all is well. Here we are in June, and we're on another podcast month. It's exciting times in the podcast world, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I'm really enjoying doing the podcast. I hope our listeners are enjoying some of the stories that we're telling. I mean, we always try to give the real story. We're not dressing things up or making it sound easier than it is. Property investment can be tough and challenging. But yeah, we'll give it warts and all. But what we always say is it is worth it. We get through the things that happen, get over those. It teaches you a lot how to be resilient, how to get over problems, deal with all the issues that you're gonna face. But it is absolutely worth it, because here we are on a Tuesday lunchtime, chatting away about property, Sarah, and not sitting at a desk in a bank or something.
Yeah, that is very true. And, as we've said, it can be a little bit challenging. It can be sometimes a bit hard work, but we have got tools at our disposal to try and make it just a bit of a smoother journey. And you and I are both like-minded in our use of technology, systemization, automation. And we have both independently been dabbling into the world of AI quite a lot in the last few months, haven't we?
Yeah, and it's amazing the pace at which it's changing. I think if you said the words open AI to somebody even a year ago, I think a vast majority of people wouldn't know what you're talking about. I think a lot more people now know what it is or know of it, but maybe don't know what it is, and that open AI is just one form of AI. So yeah, it's really gathering pace. It is going to be life changing. It is going to change the world. I genuinely believe that. So we need to embrace it, get on board with it, and see, really how we can get ahead using AI, and how we can make it really work for us.
Absolutely. So, I mean, just as a bit of a recap for some of our listeners, Nick and I both have serviced accommodation. We've got hotels, as well as our property portfolios, which consist of buy-to-lets and HMOs and all of that good stuff, as well as, commercial to residential projects. So, and we've got a whole breadth of the property spectrum. And, I think we've both used AI a lot within the hospitality short stay industry, but equally, it's touched. I think I've used it definitely in all aspects of our property portfolio management as well. So why don't you? What was the last piece of AI you used and when?
I used it about an hour ago, actually. So I was investigating different ways of using or how to generate marketing leads. So one of the things we're looking at in our hotels business is to find existing hotels that are poorly run, a bit tired, that fit our model that we can take over using creative means and convert to our automated model and increase the value that way. We do it one way by buying old offices and converting them. That's it's a long process. We're often planning, just getting planning permission takes it over a year. So if you can get something that is already operating, but you can add value to it in a different way by improving it and automating it, then that's another arm of our business. So I actually used AI this morning to basically ask how to design a marketing plan or a marketing message for hotel owners. So I can do it right now, actually. It's right here. So if I type something into AI, I'm using OpenAI. So I can say act as a CMO, Chief Marketing Officer, and design a short marketing message for hotel owners looking to sell. Okay, so something like that. And then I love it. It's amazing. So it's writing as I speak. It's basically writing me a letter to send to existing hotel owners. Dear hotel owner, are you considering selling your hotel and capitalizing on your investment at your insert company name? We understand the unique value of your property and dedicated to helping you achieve the best possible return. And it goes into kind of why choose us to help you sell your hotel, recent success stories, talking about luxury boutique hotels that have sold, call to action. Are you ready to take the next step? It inserts our phone number, email, website address. It's good. So it can basically design you. That took 10 seconds to come up with a marketing message that I can then go back and refine. I can go back and say, well, okay, can you make this shorter, a bit longer? Can you insert if I put our company name in it, it will then search. In fact, let's do that. Okay. So, I'm going to use our company name, Rooster Leisure, as an example, say, and it can then go back and redo it using it will basically go and search our website and it will get information about us and it will go back and redo it again based on us as a boutique hotel in Edinburgh. So, that's just a really simple way of using it. It can save you loads and loads of time. So rather than me having to sit down and think of starting from scratch a marketing message to send to hotel owners, it will do the basics. Someone can just go in and edit.
Absolutely. It's so much easier to refine and edit something that's already in existence than it is to come up with it from scratch. So I think for everything, this is such a time saver. It's much more efficient, but also I've found that it helps more with my creativity because it structures things immediately. Whereas obviously our brains are kind of whirring around and we've got this idea and that idea, and it doesn't deviate in the way that we do. So it kind of just gets it down, structures it beautifully, and then you, as you said, you can go and refine it and you can add to it, and you can tell OpenAI and all the different tools that we've got 10 times to do it in a different way, and it's not going to get annoyed with you as well.
It won't get annoyed, no. And you can just say, I need 150 words. So if you have a limit, if you're, and I found that really useful when you're entering, data into a system that has a limit on characters. You can say, I just need, 300 characters on this, and it will just do it and construct it perfectly. It is incredible. So, it might be useful for those that maybe aren't aware of what, to just give an overview of what AI is, as I understand it. I'm kind of no expert by any means, but for the majority of people that are going to use it, AI is basically what's called a large language model. It can access everything, on the internet, but it understands language and it can use language creatively. So, if you put a Google search, honestly, putting a Google search in is going to seem like, back into the Jurassic Park era. It's going to be like a dinosaur Google very quickly. It'll come up with answers, but with OpenAI, it will create answers around language. It's really hard for me to describe it, not being an AI expert, but as I said, that's how I would use it. It's the few podcasts I've listened to ask the question, is AI going to take over the world and kill us all? Well, I don't know. But it's
what
not.
did it say when you asked it?
Well, you can ask OpenAI that question, and it will come up with this, really political answer. If anyone's interested in that, actually, I was on Diver CEO podcast. Listen to there's an episode on an AI expert on there talking about it. They spent a couple of hours kind of bashing this back and forwards. What is AI? What does it mean? What's it going to do? What's the possibilities? I think it was actually the guy who created OpenAI is talking about it. So if anyone is interested, go listen to that. It's fascinating. But for the most part, the way that we're going to use AI is, utilizing these large language models, which mean that you can create huge amounts of work very, very quickly. You can generate. I generated an entire guidebook, for my hotel, which is probably 50 pages. Normally that might have taken me, if I was doing that on my own, that would have taken me days and days of work.
Yeah.
Did it in an afternoon because it was just editing. The text was all there. You can upload. You can tell the system what websites you want it to search from. So you could use our own website. I put in Visit Scotland, a couple of other webs. I put in some golf course websites, and it's created this guidebook on, not just our hotel based on our website, but also, other attractions around Scotland. It created pages on, golf and, all the Harry Potter, everything you can do in Edinburgh and the surrounding area. It was amazing. Saved me days and days and days of work.
Yeah, and it does. It structures it far better than your brain probably could, as well. So it's a beautiful tool. And I think the last time I used it for a big project was last week. I was creating social media posts for our hotel in the Northwest, in Merseyside, and I used, actually, for a change, I was on a free trial with Jasper.ai, which is more of a, because each tool, AI tool, has a what they describe as a bit of a unique push. So you'll get ones that are audio led, ones that are video editing, ones that are picture led. This is a content marketing led piece of AI, so Jasper.ai, and I literally just put in, the social media post, write a social media post about this, and then it asks you at each point, what's your call to action? Who do you want to target? So it's kind of directing me in my thoughts as well. And then I can do it in a brand voice. So I can have lots of different brand voices for all of my different businesses that I've got. And it will go off and look at the website and look at anything that I've uploaded to give it that brand voice. And then it will spit out its social media. It will say, do you want me to write a blog post on this? I'm like, yeah, go on then. Do you want me to write a newsletter on this? What's your call to action? And it does all of that. So it takes one piece of content and then it rewrites it for different mediums as well. Then I went on to ChatGPT and said, give me all the hashtags that will, for this social media post, that will increase its awareness on Instagram. And then it did that for me as well. And, I did take probably about 3 hours to do about 3 months worth of social media posts. But that's all right, isn't it?
That's right, isn't it? Yeah. How much?
Plus all the email newsletters. I think I'm still on my. Yeah, I think I'm still on my free trial with Jasper, and I was like, oh no, I'll probably just do the free trial, but now I'm like, oh, actually, this is really good. I think it's £20 to £30 a month. That's the thing, isn't it? Because whilst you can use lots of them for free to a certain level, if there's ones that you suddenly feel that are doing the job that you want them to do, there is obviously a pay version of these that's going to work better for you. So, and there's so many of them, you're not quite sure which one to go for, because I should imagine that they're popping up all the time.
They are, and yeah, I was looking for a well, firstly, before I get into that, that's amazing. If you think about it, it's going to cost you maybe 20, £30 a month. How much would it cost you to employ a marketing person to do that?
Yeah.
A lot more.
My problem now, Nick, is that I need someone to go and post it for me, because I literally CBA to actually post them.
Yeah. So come on, Elon, come up with an AI that can do that as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
So yeah, I used AI to find me an AI for my hotel.
Brilliant. Tell me more.
All right. So I went into ChatGPT again, because I find that good one to do. So worked for me. So I basically put in fact, do you know what? I'll just do it live, right? Okay, so I put in find me the best AI guest communications tool that integrates with my PMS, which is Best24. Okay, so I just put that into OpenAI to see what happened, because I could spend hours and hours and hours on a Google search trying to find the right AI. Okay, so here we go. So it's currently writing. So, answer. To find the best AI guest communications tool, integrate seamlessly with Best24, it's essential to consider options that offer robust features, blah, blah. One of the most highly recommended tools that meet these criteria is HelloShift. Key features: seamless integration with Best24, AI-powered messaging, uses AI to automate responses to common guest inquiries, which is exactly what I'm looking for. Providing instant and accurate information, supports multiple communication channels, including email, SMS, and social media. That pretty much is exactly what I need.
Yeah.
So it basically came up with, it just picked one. It says HelloShift. Anyway, it goes on and on and on. Do you know what? I went on to HelloShift. I looked at it and it was, yeah, tick, 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 tick. It does everything I wanted it to do. I had a demo with them. I literally emailed them straight away. I had a demo organized same day, and they taught me through exactly what the system could do. So within probably less than an hour from scratch, I basically found exactly the AI that I needed to essentially streamline all my guest communication systems, put everything in one place, and for the system to be able to generate auto responses depending on the guest inquiries, which is just going to save my hotel manager huge amounts of work, just answering the same things all the time.
Yeah.
So, once you've connected the AI and you load it up, it knows your website, and it knows all your room information. It links with the OTAs, online travel agents. It will be able to answer 90%, I think, of guest inquiries. It will even, in fact, we're not quite yet, but we're really close to having a system or an AI that will be able to perform simple tasks as well. So let's say we have a guest, it gets messages in, all goes into one inbox. The guest can either use, they might text in, they might email in, might WhatsApp in, but it will all go to one place. And they might say, really enjoy my stay. Can I extend by another night? Now, at the moment, I can have an auto response that says, thanks for your inquiry. One of our staff will get back to you. And it will flag up to Amanda, my manager, and she can deal with it. But we're really close to the AI being able to actually just go into the system, check if they can stay, if they can stay in one room, or if they need to move to another room, and go back and answer it, and then take payment and then move them. Yeah. So that's really close, not far away at all. That will
happen. It's powerful stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
And when I think back, Nick, because we've been sort of training people in apart hotels, guest houses, and the short stay industry for a number of years. I mean, we've had our place for 5 years. You're about the same time period, and if we look back to how we were teaching systemization, even a year ago, but definitely 3 years ago, the game's completely changed. and all of the things that we were recommending from a systemization perspective, not all, and there's still common themes throughout there, but it's a brand new game, isn't it? And brand new tools are available to everybody.
It is, and that means I'm replacing one of the systems that I used to recommend on our courses, and I'm getting rid of it because it's not kept up. I liked it and it was good until I look at HelloShift and it's 10 times better. It does so much more slick. That I'm not going to name them, but the other system is just gone. It's fallen by the wayside. It's unless they very rapidly invest in their systems, they're gone, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's the time period of the new entrepreneurial, nimble, flexible, software-based companies, development companies to shine now, isn't it? And really, I just guess mess up the market and see what falls out.
Exactly. Yeah. We were at the Short Stay Summit not that long ago, and we met a guy who'd flown over from California, and he was there with his new AI system. And I really liked it. It was great, but it doesn't integrate with my main PMS at the moment. So otherwise, I might have gone with that system. But this other one ticks all the boxes for me. But maybe next year I might have to move again because there'll be something better. Because my ultimate aim for my hotel business is that it is 95% automated.
And I think you can do that while still retaining hospitality. I mean, if we look at especially your place that opened in Edinburgh, you opened this year, didn't you?
December last year.
Yeah. If we think about the avatar for that hotel, it is, Edinburgh's a place that has year-round guests. Occupancy is fantastic. You get a lot of international guests and a lot of national domestic guests as well. But your avatar, because your place is so beautiful and it's so stylized, tends to be the leisure industry or the avatar more than a worker corporate gig. Is that about right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And they want some hospitality as well. And it doesn't mean that because you're 90% automated that they don't get that, because they still, that's what we bring in. That's the human element of it, isn't it?
You can absolutely still maintain the human element of it, but I think that once guests get used to this, they actually much prefer it. Because how many of us are staying in hotels where something's not quite right in a room, and you ring, you try and get through to reception, it rings out. You're using basically what is now an antiquated system of a telephone, to ring a human being and try and solve a problem. That if you get through to reception, they then have to ring the housekeeping team, and I don't know how long that's going to take, but it's frustrating. I've found that with my new system and the way this is going, a guest will be able to message in using, as I said, whatever form they want. They can use WhatsApp, they can use SMS, they can email, they can phone, they can chat. The system covers all of those things, and it will immediately allocate. It will understand the question. It will immediately allocate it to the right department. So if it's a maintenance issue, it will immediately notify our maintenance guy. If it is a guest management issue, it will go to Amanda. If it's a housekeeping issue, it will go straight to housekeeping. And then I can monitor it. And the system will also, if no one has responded within a certain time frame, it will tell me so that I can get on that as well. And it will automatically respond. So if a guest says, how do I turn the heat? It happened today. How do I can't, the heating's on. How do I turn the heating on? Right. They're not going to be the first guest that's ever asked that question. And whilst we have a guidebook where if they could actually be bothered, they could look it up, but most people don't. But what the AI will do will know the answer because it knows the guidebook, so it can just immediately answer that question. Can you try, turning the thermostat up on the thing? Okay, yeah, and that will solve like 90% of problems. It won't even need to go anywhere else. It won't need a human being to go up into the room, check the radiator. Oh yeah, you just turn this valve. So it will answer most of those things. And anything it can't answer, then it will pass on to the right department.
And as time goes on, it gets to learn more and more because you're adding more information into it, which becomes its bank of library, etc.
Absolutely.
What
So,
else have you used, Nick? What other tools or what other outcomes have you used Chat GPT or any other thing for?
I use it all the time. I use it now instead of Google. I don't really Google anything anymore because it's just old tech. So, I use it. I think it's real power for property investors is saving a load of time on things like marketing, like you described. But it can be really simple. Let's say we teach people to go out and have flyers to put through doors, for if they see a derelict property, things like that. You could sit. We get a lot of students come through our trainings that find reasons to not take a lot of the action all the time. They put block. Oh, I haven't got my business cards. I haven't got this. I haven't got my my marketing stuff. No excuses now. It's get ChatGPT to write it. Get ChatGPT to tell you how to produce it. Just get it done. It can write the letters for you.
Yes.
You've got to do is print them off and take them with you. So there's loads of ways you can use it from that level. You can help, you can use it, help you define an area where you're going to invest. It can bring information up on, you can say to GPT, anything like, okay, well, let's do it. Okay, give me a potential investment location, Sarah.
Well, I was just reading, and I know the answers to all of this, but I was reading about Barrow in Furness. So let's go for Barrow.
Is Barrow in Furness a good property investment location? Now, that's a really simple question. I could target that a lot more. I could define that a lot more. Right, so it's printing as we speak. Barrow in Furness, town in Cumbria, presents both opportunities and challenges for property investment. Here are some factors to consider. Some of the pros: affordability, prices are generally lower than the national average. Economic development has a strong industrial base due to manufacturing primarily BAE systems. So, if you didn't know that, there that is. Yeah. Regeneration projects, various regeneration projects and investments in infrastructure have been initiated, so you can go and learn about that. Rental demand, given the presence of large employers, there is consistent demand for rental properties, especially from workers and professionals. That's a few, things to go and investigate there. Scenic location, it's right near the Lake District. Okay, so cons of investing in Barrow: economic dependence, because you got one major employer, that's a risk factor. Limited market growth, slower property price growth. So if you're looking for, more growth in properties over time, then probably isn't the best location. But if you want cash flow and income, maybe it is. So investment strategies. It's even giving you strategies here, Sarah. So buy to let, targeting workers to the local industries can provide stable rental income. I'd agree with that. Holiday rentals, leveraging the town's proximity to the Lake District and coastal areas. Renovation projects, investing in properties that can be renovated and sold or rented at a higher value could be profitable, particularly with the ongoing regeneration projects. Conclusion: offers an affordable entry point into the property market with the potential for steady rental income and long-term growth due to local economic activities and regeneration projects.
Yeah, so it gives you a lovely overview, and that was because you put in quite a general inquiry, didn't you? A general query point. And I think if you do drill down on that and give more parameters and more guidance, then it will give you an even better answer. Okay. For example, what we know about Barrow is that it's going gangbusters. If you're not there already, you've probably kind of almost missed the boat on it. HMO market up there is in huge demand, but again, like we're bringing in our knowledge to I guess just give a better twist on what the basics that are given, in that particular query that you did. So, with HMOs up there, there's a lot of chat about, is there too many coming to the market and all of that sort of stuff. So, it's just fascinating, isn't it, that it can give you something which you can then run with and add in your personal knowledge as well.
Yeah, well, I've just gone back and said, what rent can I expect for a renovated property? Let's come back with apartments, which we don't advise, but houses. 2-bedroom house, a renovated 2-bedroom house can expect to fetch between 550 and 700 per month. 3-bedroom, 650 to 850, with higher end properties potentially reach up to 900. Now, I know because I looked at this on one of my courses at the weekend. I know that you can buy 3-bedroom houses in Barrow for around about 50k.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it.
That's a nice little return, isn't it?
So if you think about, 50k house, and if you do it up to a high standard, potentially £900 a month rent, do the maths. That's a pretty strong yield.
Certainly going to cash flow.
That would be a big green tick for me. And that took, a couple of minutes to maybe get a bit of information on that. So that's a really useful tool for entry level investors. I know we use a lot for hotels, and there's AIs for that, but I think it's really useful if you're just starting out to help you drill down into a new investment location, or to pinpoint aspects of the market that are interesting. So there, as I said, I'd be reading that and thinking, okay, well, in fact, let's ask ChatGPT, what's the cheapest property in Barrow right now? Okay, so I imagine that's gone straight to Rightmove, saves me doing it. Let's see what it comes up.
The suspense is killing us.
Yeah. As of now, the cheapest 40% of Barrow Finesse is a 2-bedroom end of terrace house listed for 50,000, offers over. This property represents, exactly what I said. If you're looking for a slightly higher budget, there is 3-bedroom house for 75,000, which is on the market.com. 3-bedroom mid-terrace for 85. But that's probably a new one. So you need to drill into that a little bit more, but it's pretty much telling you straight away that, even if you take the top end there, 85 grand, if you can rent that for £900 a month, the maths still works pretty nicely.
So it definitely does save us time. I find it helps with structuring things, creating things, being more creative and brainstorming ideas. But the time efficiencies are just brilliant, aren't they?
Time efficiency is huge. And for me, in the hotel hospitality industry, the cost savings are immense.
Yes.
If I can have an AI that does 90% of my guest communications, and it can do all my marketing, my cost base on staffing is massively reduced.
And are you paying for any AI at the moment?
Yeah, I'm paying for the paid version of ChatGPT.
Oh, so you're on the version 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I haven't yet, but I get a certain amount each day of 4. Don't know why, just one of those things. Because at about 3 o'clock, if I've used too much, it will say your access to 4 will reset at, and it gives me a time of day where it resets.
You're going down an AI rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, that is the trouble, isn't it? Because you can lose a lot of time just, I wonder what it says about this. Just needed to distract myself from what I really should be doing. I'll ask ChatGPT something. Yeah, so obviously we've still got to sort out our own discipline and motivations in life.
It certainly doesn't replace doing, your research and doing your on the ground investigations of an investment area. It doesn't replace any of that. It can give you a guide, and it can save you a lot of time on that, but it's not going to help you.
You've got to implement it, haven't you? You've got to get off your bum, get out there. And I still maintain there is nothing in property investment. There is nothing that beats boots on the ground in your investment area. And as we like to say, TTP, talk to people.
Absolutely, yeah.
There are go on.
I was going to say there are no shortcuts. Use all these tools to help, but they don't replace, as you say, getting to your investment area, talking to people, viewing houses. That's the number one thing that anyone serious about property investing needs to be doing.
Absolutely, and that's probably a good place to pause today's podcast. So hopefully for those who haven't tried using AI in their property business or in any business, hopefully we've inspired you to just go on and start that process, get used to it, learn and learn with AI and give it as much as you can so it performs better for you. But with the definitely the reminder that it won't do everything for you and you do have to do it yourself. So please get out there, get to your investment area, book some viewings, chat to some agents, put some direct vendor letters through, all of that good stuff, and just take some action.
Fantastic, absolutely, yes. So how can anyone that wants to talk to us, get hold of us, how do they find us, Sarah?
Best place to get hold of me is via my LinkedIn profile. So if you go onto LinkedIn and search for Sarah Blainey and send me a message, send me a connection request. And yourself, Nick?
Yeah, like I said, LinkedIn, Nick Claydon on LinkedIn. Also on Instagram, which is Nick_Claydon_property. Or you can go to propertywealthsystem.co.uk if you're interested in learning a bit more about some of the trainings that we offer. And keep tuned for some more content. We've got some great episodes coming up. And we're going to look at various aspects of property investing and break it down into like simple chunks. And we've got some great guests coming up too, haven't we, Sarah?
We certainly have. In fact, I've got some scheduled for next week where we're going to be talking about anything from dynamic pricing in the short stay industry through to HMO valuations and all of that. So it's going to be great times. Well, thank you very much, Nick. And we hope you've enjoyed this episode of This Property Life. And please subscribe to us and we will see you again soon.